He told them he was losing control. He said he was hearing voices. He said something was wrong. He said he might hurt himself. And then he walked out of a hospital. 2 days later, 3 people were dead. This isn't fiction. This isn't a horror film. This is Sherman, Texas, March 2004. And this is the story of Andre Thomas, a man whose descent into psychosis happened in plain sight and who many believe should never have been free in the first place. Tonight, we're not just telling a crime story. We're asking a harder question. When someone clearly breaks from reality, who was responsible for stopping what comes next? Andre Thomas wasn't unknown to mental health systems. By early 2004, people around him were noticing alarming changes. He had a history of mental illness, diagnosed schizophrenia. He struggled with religious delusions. He believed spiritual forces were controlling events around him. He heard voices. Friends and family later described him as increasingly detached from reality. He reportedly consumed large amounts of over-the-counter cold medication. He talked about heaven and hell as if they were immediate destinations. He believed signs and symbols were communicating directly to him. Then came March 5, 2004. A friend, alarmed by his behavior, took him to a mental health clinic. Andre reportedly said, "If you don't help me, I'm going to step in front of a bus." That statement alone should have triggered emergency intervention. Instead, he was told to go to the emergency room. He never went. No follow-up. No involuntary hold. No supervision. Just released back into the world. And his mental state continued to deteriorate. On March 25, 2004, 2 weeks later, Andre stabbed himself in the chest. He later said he was trying to cross into heaven. He showed up at Texoma Medical Center in Grayson County, Texas. Doctors reportedly believed he needed psychiatric evaluation. They wanted him admitted. But under Texas law, an emergency detention order required judicial approval. While waiting for paperwork, while waiting for legal authorization, Andre walked out. No physical restraints. No security intervention. No completed emergency hold. He simply left. 2 days later, March 27, 2004, everything changed. On March 27, Andre went to the apartment of his estranged wife, Laura Thomas. Inside were Laura, 20 years old, their 4-year-old son, Laura's 1-year-old daughter. What happened inside that apartment shocked even seasoned investigators. Andre later claimed he believed they were possessed. He believed he was saving them. He believed he was acting under divine command. After the killings, he placed a dollar bill near the scene, focusing on the eye within the pyramid symbol. He would later claim it represented control, surveillance, spiritual manipulation. Then he left. He went home, changed clothes, washed up, and then he called Laura's parents. On voicemail, he said, "I need help, I think I'm in hell." Shortly after, he confessed and turned himself in. But the story did not end with arrest. While in jail awaiting trial, Andre's mental state deteriorated even further. In a disturbing act that stunned jail staff, he severely injured himself, referencing a biblical scripture about removing an eye to prevent sin. Doctors could not save it. Years later, he would harm himself again, claiming he did not want the government reading his thoughts. These acts reignited a public debate. Was this a calculated murderer? Or a profoundly psychotic man beyond rational control? In 2005, Andre Thomas went on trial for capital murder. His defense argued insanity. They presented psychiatric testimony. They described delusions. They described religious hallucinations. They argued he could not distinguish right from wrong. The prosecution countered. Mental illness alone does not equal legal insanity. They argued drug abuse worsened his condition. They argued he understood his actions. They argued he attempted to clean up afterward. After deliberation, the jury rejected the insanity defense. Andre Thomas was convicted, sentenced to death. He remains on Texas death row today. This case still sparks debate nearly 2 decades later. Critics argue the mental health system failed. Emergency intervention protocols broke down. Judicial delay cost lives. Severe schizophrenia should exempt someone from execution. Supporters of the verdict argue mental illness does not erase responsibility. Planning and post-crime actions suggest awareness. The victims deserve justice. The uncomfortable truth? Both arguments contain weight. And that's what makes this case so haunting. Could this have been prevented? If the clinic had held him? If the hospital had secured emergency authorization faster? If Texas law allowed more immediate psychiatric detention? 2 days separated hospital exit from homicide. 48 hours? A razor-thin margin between intervention and tragedy. The system had warning signs. They were verbal. They were documented. But they were not acted on decisively. 3 lives were lost. A man with documented psychosis sits on death row. A state continues to debate his competency. A family lives with irreversible loss. This case forces us to confront something uncomfortable. Where does compassion end and accountability begin? When someone clearly breaks from reality, is punishment the answer? Or is prevention the real failure? If this case made you think, not just react, then this channel is for you. We don't just tell crime stories. We examine the cracks in the system, the psychology, the courtroom strategy, the uncomfortable gray areas. Subscribe to Crime Depth for more deep dive cases like this. And tell me in the comments, do you believe severe mental illness should exempt someone from the death penalty? Or does responsibility remain no matter the diagnosis? I'll see you in the next case.